want to go back to something that you mentioned about his fitness, John, and what he said after that Chelsea game. And I guess when you do come in, I mean, first of all, we have to remember he hadn't played for a long time at Everton. He hadn't started, I think, since middle of November, something like that. So he wasn't getting the minutes under his belt. He might have been fit, but match fit, as we always say, is a totally different thing. And then the stand that Eddie Howe sets as well. I mean, fitness is one thing, but Eddie Howe fitness is another thing. And I think, if Anthony Gordon's struggling, then goodness me, I hate to think what we'd be doing during pre-season or trying to play catch up to the rest of the squad, John. It's going to be really interesting, isn't it, to see him actually, though, go into that full pre-season and start on a level platform with the likes of Miguel Almiron, Jacob Murphy, who have all gone through that as well. I can't wait. I think, honestly, just a full pre-season in Eddie Howe, he's fully fit, he's raring to go. I'm really excited.
I mean, Eddie Howe has, when you look back with hindsight on the approach that Eddie Howe's taken, the type of game he tries to play, front foot, high pressing, you've got to be fit to do that. And Newcastle were significantly unfit under Steve Bruce when players actually went to the board and said, we would like to train more than we are. And how often the players say that, for goodness sake. But when you look back, Newcastle signings have not automatically been rushed into the team. They are at every club because we're so grateful to get them. They can sign on a Friday and probably play on a Saturday if they're available. But Newcastle, Isaac, after his debut at Liverpool, was injured, but then was a long time when he was sort of said not to be fit enough for the team, fit enough for other clubs, match fit, but not match sharpness. And if you look at even one of the heroes of our side, you look at Bruno. He sat out watching Newcastle play for a short while when he first came. I think the first half dozen games, as he was on the bench. Now, nobody talked about his fitness at that stage because the questions weren't being asked of Eddie. And we all presumed you're sick because you're from Brazil via France and you see the style we play. But obviously, as well, he was tonking up the yardage in him on the training ground. And so while players like Trippier have hit the ground running and gone into side, others like Bruno and Isaac and now Gordon have had a more restrained introduction to the team. And that's understandable. We've also got to bear in mind, Andrew, when we're looking at the situation with Anthony Gordon, that he is playing in what is possibly the most competitive position at Newcastle United. Because you look at the wingers, two positions available, left and right, and he's sort of split his appearances between both. He can play either. But you look for two positions, we've got Almiron 1, St. Maximum 2, Murphy 3, Isaac can play there 4, Joe Linton can play there 5, and Anderson can play there 6. So there's so much competition for those two places out wide that he's not going to be a shoe-in and let him find his form by playing a few games out there. If he doesn't hit the ground running, Almiron comes in, or Maxi comes in, or Murphy gets it, or Isaac has played out there so Wilson can play, or Joe Linton's played out there so you can go in midfield with Willock, Longstaff and Bruno. So there's great pressure on those positions. You've got to perform top notch week after week.
I guess also you have to consider that at the time he joined and to the end of the season, the form of those players has been brilliant. And I include Maxi in that to a certain degree, obviously hit by that injury, which was unfortunate, but he's showed glimpses of what he can do. Murphy has just become a different player altogether. Almiron, okay, the goals dried up, but the work rate that he puts in, it kind of balances that out. And Anderson, of course, with his brief cameos, has looked excellent as well. So,
Isaac's played out there to get Callum in, so there's another pressure. And Joe Linton's played out there to get the three midfielders together.